the Parliament. And Leanne, over to you for crossing to Parliament now.
Yeah, indeed. So, as we mentioned a bit earlier, today sees the first sitting of the National Council of Provinces, or the NCOP. Let's cross over to Cape Town, to Parliament to be exact, where our news reporter Bulelani Phillip has more on the opening of the NCOP. You were a busy man yesterday, Bulelani, and I'm sure it's going to be the same story again today. How are things going? People arriving already? Good morning to you.
Well, good morning to you, Leanne, and to the viewers. Of course, again, today we're going to have a busy day here in the NCOP as the NCOP, the second House of Parliament, prepares to swear in 90 permanent and non-permanent delegates who will be serving in this house for the next 5 years. Of course, that process is expected to begin at about 10:30 this morning, and it will be initially presided over, like in the National Assembly yesterday, by the Chief Justice Mogoeng. But I'm going to be speaking to the Secretary of the National Council of Provinces, Advocate Modibedi Phindela, who's going to be taking us through the proceedings of today. Thank you so much, sir, for your time this morning. Firstly, members will be sworn in this morning. Just take us through the process.
Okay, thank you very much. This morning we'll be swearing in the permanent delegates of the National Council of Provinces, 54 of them. And the proceedings will be presided over by a Chief Justice, and every member would either take an oath or make an affirmation. So members have made a choice whether they want to take an oath or whether they want to make an affirmation. They have also made a choice insofar as the languages are concerned, whether they want to do it in English, Afrikaans, or any other official language that they have chosen.
And just with regards to the position that are going to be elected on this morning, just take us through those.
The Chief Justice will preside over the election of the chairperson of the National Council of Provinces. Once the chairperson has been elected, Chief Justice will vacate the seat and the chairperson will take the chair to preside over the election of the deputy chairperson of the National Council of Provinces. And once the deputy chairperson has been elected, we will proceed to the election of the Chief Whip of the National Council of Provinces. The Chief Whip, unlike in the National Assembly, the Chief Whip is not the Chief Whip of a party. Is the Chief Whip of the National Council of Provinces, and that is why the Chief Whip is elected in the House by the delegates.
People actually never really hear a lot about the National Council of Provinces. What does the National Council of Provinces does that the NA doesn't do?
I have heard on many occasions people referring to National Assembly as Parliament. Parliament consists of two houses, the National Assembly and the National Council of Provinces. Secondly, I have heard on many occasions people referring to the Speaker of Parliament. In terms of the Constitution, we don't have the Speaker of Parliament, we have the Speaker of the National Assembly, and we have the Chairperson of the National Council of Provinces. Of course, the National Council of Provinces is there to make sure that the interest of provinces are taken into consideration in matters relating to provinces at national level. So in other words, if a law comes or a bill comes before Parliament, and when I'm talking about Parliament, I'm referring to the two houses now, not only to the National Assembly. When the bill comes to Parliament, and in particular to the National Council of Provinces, the permanent delegates or the delegates of the National Council of Provinces must make sure that it will benefit their provinces. So they have to look into that bill with an eye that their province's interest will be taken into consideration.
Now, some people will be asking, 25 years into democracy, is the National Council of Provinces still relevant?
The National Council of Provinces, of course, is still relevant. And I'm sure the drafters of the Constitution, when they conceived of the National Council of Provinces, were mindful of its importance. The National Council of Provinces is the only house in South Africa, as well as I can say insofar as the world is concerned, that can bring the three spheres of government under one roof at one instance.
All right. Yesterday we saw in the 11th hour that there were some members who chose not to take up their seats in the National Assembly. Do you have any such incidents here in the NCOP?
In the National Council of Provinces, the permanent delegates are designated or appointed by their provincial legislatures. So we have not received anything from any provincial legislature withdrawing any permanent delegate that would have been designated by a provincial legislature in the National Council of Provinces.
Lastly, before I let you go, just for the benefit of our viewers, the breakdown of the parties in the NCOP.
Well, as you would know, it's in accordance with the proportion of representation in the provincial legislatures. So obviously the ANC will have the majority, followed by the DA, EFF, FF Plus and IFP.
All right, Advocate Modibedi Phindela, all the best for today. And of course, he will be one of the officials who will be presiding over the processes of electing presiding officers in the NCOP today. But of course, the difference here is that if there is a opposite nomination for those people that have been put forward by the ANC rather, the voting it doesn't apply to individual members, unlike in the NA. It will apply to provinces, meaning that provinces will each have one vote. On that note, I will take it back to you guys in Johannesburg.